Okay, so you've seen the warning note that I have placed, a disclaimer in that, so you understand. So as we're watching on that though, and for YouTube as well. Okay. Welcome back though to the Massicism channel down it, where we learn a bit about the Massicism religion and faith and such. Today's topic we are going to be talking about what is the Black March and what does it have to do with the Black Angel. First, start with what is the Black March specifically. This is a massive gathering of power in the community when the second Inquisitor leads the people through a tough and very grim period of time. As it is proclaimed within the letters of the Black Angel, and that the letters of the Black Angel, it's kind of like our sacred text, our book, written by me and the other Inquisitors in it. Which is the Lord of Death, our main entity. The march entails the destructive viewpoint of those who are not one of us. This is placed in heavy metaphor, as it doesn't really mean those who are not part of our religion. It is those who are into the occult who attempt to, in any religion, who attempt to slave those who they consider lower than themselves, than that they always look over heads, and they always think that they are no less than animals and such, and that, your typical, like, my religion is the only way you have to follow, or you are trash and that, and they're very very destructive and very problematic with that. As the Black March is a war that will be fought in the south parts of the world, not World War III, it will be a sort of like a precursor war, as it will be Massicists versus what we call Maleficarum, those people who always would force and endanger people to behave in a certain way, and specific behavioral structures and social structures and all that and such. Those people would force and don't consider their rights and don't treat them as normal human beings and that. Which is a word we use to describe the very mean, abusive, and ill-intentioned individuals who do very bad things to others just because they are not the same religion. So that is what the Black March is. It's a very shock and awe battle event that will shock the world into realizing that on how dangerous certain people with certain religions and certain groups with certain religions can be, and that and such. It is a very tough time though that is set for Massicists as well as any occult-like practice groups and that and such, though collectively it will be a difficult time and such. What is supposed to happen during the Black March? According to the letters of the Black Angel, in paragraph 3, chapter 2, verse 1 or 7, it will say, "Thus upon thy mountains of thy eastern star, lie stand fast upon thy city, and thou shalt witness thy gifts. This sums up the whole of the Black March, as the rest is just details of what can transpire, as these letters serve as a guide for showing us connection. What that verse means is as follows: a disciple or a witness stands up upon the mountains that lie nicely or closely with the first eastern star in the sky, uh, and looks upon the nearest city to see the gifts of the Black Angel being shared. And this shows the victory of our people and peace finally moving forward. However, it's not the last of the trials, as the rest of the chapter explains that. So that line sums up that the witness or disciple is going to stand on a mountain that lines up with the nearest or the first eastern star within the sky, and we'll see upon the city though that will be laid in ruins though, but the people are starting to gain hope and things are not looking so dull, so grim, done that for the near future and that. And the gifts of Black Angel is being shared in that. The gifts done that is listed within the letters, and that one of them though is prosperity and purity and that, but not purity is there's only one way. Purity in realizing that there are multiple paths to choose from, and that some of them can be a little bit tougher than others. That is what we consider as purity. However, all the events that follow before this are grim, filled with war and death, as it is a very dark time that shows destruction, war, violence, and sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of people. It is not the end times, even though the letters may make it look that way. It is a shock event to show people the value of peace and true nature of themselves. It is why it shows the illusion of the demiurge being broken and the raw truth shown, which will break a ton of people. The illusion of the false matrix, and that falls, breaks apart, and then people finally see the raw truth, and that some will accept it, some will understand it, the others though will be broken by it and such though, because not everyone though accepts the raw truth, and they become in denial, and that will cause the issues though with many people and that. But the raw truth will finally be in front of everyone though. How can it happen, or where can it happen? How it can happen? Well, this is when the political aspect of the video comes into play. Remember the warning in the beginning? As it can happen in a number of ways, but here is an example of a possibility of how it can happen. Remember that word example. It is not a fact, it's just a possibility. A president like ours here in South Africa can start to begin by setting up laws that enforce strict religious points, and with each new law passed, our communities with Massicism ways are placed under pressure. We push back with all legal support we have, get our people now become under attack, and violence breaks out, which these laws don't have to put a lot of pressure on the day-to-day lives of the community members in that, and it kind of breaks out within violence because people can't really take that much tension. tension between our communities and others become big, and eventually one person takes it too far, as per usual. The letters never tell who takes the first swing, but it tells who takes the hardest hits, which is us. Uh, then talk happens and such. A During this hardship time, a rumor will spread. A white-haired, blue-eyed girl appears and is seen waving a black flag in various places. This is one of the signs that the Black March is going to begin. This is when tension builds up very, very high, and the second inquisitor takes up arms and rallies up support, and this is when the war breaks out. Because from governmental laws, lawsuits, and investigations with unfair allegations, discrimination, and extreme tension between both sides clash. That's how it can happen, and this is when the whole large issues begin. The president of South Africa calls for military aid, and the fighting spreads, and other Massicism communities around the world find themselves in a similar boat and position. On the news, only reports of violence, death, war, terrorism, and unrest are reported on. This is when things only get worse as the battle takes a toll on the public. This is all caused because of religious laws falling with countrywide laws and that. Where can it happen? Anywhere within the southern hemisphere of the world. Why that is because it is said that is where our main lord, the Black Angel, will appear somewhere there to bring peace and hope only after the march is done. It is with a eastern star shine on a mountain top. It will be the place where it can start. However, no fascist wants this to happen, as our people will have it the hardest. So that's something that we're cheering on for, because this is something that we dread, and is a cautionary tale that. It can actually start in the USA, South Africa, Australia, South America, and etc. If it starts in the USA, it will only or might only be in its south path, as it will use the likes of its unrest to spread like wildfire. Now the letters don't list any names of presidents, but if this happens now within these years, presidents like Trump, Ramaphosa, Luis Indio Lula da Silva, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Claudia Sheinbaum, Prime Minister Sam McDaniel, of the Brazilian, Australian, Mexico, and the two places in that. Those are just a few examples of the places that within the southern hemisphere may or may not be able to claim to calm their respective public down. This will cause massive harm, and fighting will break out uncontrollably. The Black March serves as a certain as a caution warning. If we as human beings push too far, that actually causes such a backlash that even the gods themselves have to step in before we really ruin everything. Such. So this is what the Black March means. It's the thing that's in place, just in case issues really get out of hand. What does it have to do a lot with the Black Angel? This can be a video of it. own. If you all want that to be a video of its own, let me know in the comment down below. However, I will keep it short and sweet. It is because the Black Angel will be born physically though within our world, and that with a physical body, and he or she, the Black Angel though typically is a like a masculine male dominant energy, but it can actually be born as a female because the body will be a female, not itself though. Will be able to bring gifts to the lands, but only after dealing a massive blow to the Maleficarum people, which will result in a dark mass that is in somewhat details in the letter of the Black Angel, which will leave it there as it can be very, very, very grim. However, the cruelty of the Black Angel is short-lived, as he or she shall partake in the battle themselves. It is suspected that the Black Angel can either be born before the march or during the march, but will be born fully formed and at full power, whichever way it will be, it will not be a natural birth. This birth will not be in any means always a natural way. Now, just a quick reminder of who the Black Angel is. The Black Angel is not the name of the entity itself. It is a title which we have other titles for it, which include Red Dragon, the Bloodline, Arachnid of Pain, etc. If you're using those titles, you're talking about the same entity. That is the Black Angel. The title, the Black Angel, is just used the most. His true name will be hidden only when we masses have freed ourselves though fully and truly. That only the prophets though will be able to hear it and such though, because to become a prophet though there's a lot of rituals though that you do, and it entitles you to see and hear the name of the Black Angel. And that he is our Lord of Death, Blood, Creation, Destruction, Darkness, Lust, and Spiders, which is technically one of our main animals. The guide to our salvation, as she shows us the way, but reminds us that only we can truly take the first steps, and only we can truly save ourselves. This is why Massicism and its the Inquisition of the disciples of the Black Angel are open supporters of small businesses, community views on brands, the LGBTQ plus community as well, the freedom of religious practice and representation of those practices. Massicism is the religion, and the Inquisition of the disciples of the Black Angel is usually the movement that helps support that. So the Massicism is the faith, and you can take the Inquisition though like it's a little, community, authority, political party of itself, don't it? And such that it's more of a organization than anything political and that, but it is a for-profit. You shouldn't say this now. It's for a for-profit. The Inquisition that helps doing businesses, YouTube channels, all different ways to make money to help support the communities of the masses ways and such and that, and helps provide jobs and that, learning, education, knowledge and such and that. Thus I hope this video has been educational and will help you understand more of the faith of Massicism. And in the next video, we'll talk about more about its other gods and its other, about the faith with the different realms and that and such stuff in the next video. And I'll place some more information here and a little bit of a logo that's here though, that will be the first official logo of the Inquisition on that though. Alright. But anyways, I hope you understand and that. If you really have any questions of this video, please comment them down below and I will try to answer them as best as I can. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.